So guys, I just have, I don't know, something to share. The thing is, I'm not a type of person that is going to say that I'm getting old or in my 30s now, so this and this is different than when I was younger, in the context of like I'm getting old, or you know, people are like, oh, you know, you're getting old when you enjoy getting a new vacuum cleaner for Christmas, something like that. Even though I feel like that is funny and that would be part of my vocabulary, I still don't do it because I never want to acknowledge to my body I'm getting old, because I don't feel like that. So I'm very careful with my words. But the funny thing is that yesterday around, I think like between 5 and 8, I had 2 glasses of wine and I didn't eat after that. I came home, cleaned a bit, had some music on because I was a little bit tipsy, and then around 10 I went to bed, and I think around 11:30 I fell asleep. And this morning I actually woke up at 7, at 8, at 9, but then at 10 I actually felt rested, and it's a Saturday today, so I felt rested to get up and get out of bed, which is not me. And I all of a sudden wondered if that would be the alcohol, because I do hear people say around me, like when they're getting older in their 30s, that one glass of wine has an effect on them. They feel it the next day. And I was always like, how can you feel like one glass of wine? Maybe it was because I didn't eat afterwards, or before that. I did eat before that, of course, but yeah, not like a huge meal or anything. But I always wondered if I would be that sensitive to it, because I don't really drink a lot. And then, like I said, 2 glasses of wine in a time span of 3 hours would normally just be fine, you know. But I don't know if that was the effect of me getting up at 10, or because I just had a really busy day, a busy week, and I was tired because of that. So I am gonna do some experiments with it to see what's up, because I did not like waking up at 10. I felt like my day was already like I was behind, and I cleaned the whole house today, and I think right now, I don't know what time is it. It's like almost 5 p.m. and I didn't really get to do a lot of my work stuff, so I just cleaned. But if I had woken up at like 7 or 8, I don't know, my rhythm would be different. So I'm just wondering if other people actually feel the difference of alcohol when they get older. I do understand, like I used to go out 2 days in a row in the weekend, like getting drunk and all of that. Now I cannot do 2 days in a row, you know. My birthday party was the day that I actually drank a lot, which is like 4 margaritas. That's it. And that's, for me, that's enough for me to be hungover the next day, which I was. But yeah, 2 glasses of wine, usually I would be fine. Hey, that rhymes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna experiment a little bit to see if because I love my glasses of wine and I drink, I think like maybe once every 2 weeks. If I have them in the afternoon, what that effect is the next day. But if it continues being like this, like if of course I'm going to try again in the evening as well to see if that has an effect on me the next day, waking up time, feeling tired, whatever, all of that stuff. I'm really in tune with my body, so I can focus on that. I don't have a lot of distractions like going to my work or whatever. I don't have a lot of obligations outwardly because my job is really inwardly focused, so I can spend the time to see what happens. If it's the case that it really does have an effect on me, I am considering to actually quitting drinking, or at least not like completely, I think, but just like 90%. And I don't even drink a lot, but it's just really not worth it to me, because my life, my days, as I told you in the last video, I have such a lust for life. And even when I have a migraine or I feel I have the flu and I'm in bed, I am so bummed out that another day has passed without me being able to enjoy life. Like, I love life. Having a migraine, yeah, it sucks, because then I cannot do the things that I want to do. And if wine or alcohol is gonna have some sort of a effect on me in the next hours or day, then I am definitely considering cutting back 90%. So yeah, it's not even hard for me to think about that, you know? So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. Also, my last video got a lot of like really vulnerable responses, and I want to thank you guys for it, because just remember that it's not only me that is reading it. There's so many other people that are reading it and not commenting on it or whatever, that you guys are also helping and giving them perspective and giving them a feeling of that they're not alone. And I think that's the ripple effect when you guys comment so vulnerably and honestly, that it opens up so much for a lot of people, more than you might know. So yeah, thank you guys for that. And I will definitely go deeper within myself around those topics to see what I can share. For now, I just took a shower, because when you clean the house, you know, you feel like you're dirty as well, because you've gone through so many dirty spaces, like little corners and stuff with all the dust and ugh. So you just want to wash it all off. I also like cleaned the shower before I took a shower. I waited a couple of hours after I cleaned it, and then I took a shower just for peace of mind, you know, all those chemicals and all of that flying around. That's about it. I don't really have a lot to share today with you guys. Oh, maybe I could share around my calorie deficit. So I feel like I've worked a lot towards my birthday party, which was end of June. So I worked out and ate the way to look a certain way on my birthday party, which is not restrictive, but just like a little more focused. And since then, I had a week of like not really being into it, not wanting to track my calories, wanting to eat a lot of carbs and bread and all of that, which is absolutely fine. And I let myself do that. And then after that week, it was the week before my period. And I always know that's a week that I'm really struggling with keeping my portions a certain amount for me to be able to lose weight. It's like I almost forget that 1 week later, when I'm on my period, I have no problem with eating less, keeping my portions small, whatever, because it feels so real, you know? Even the feelings of the emotions, they feel so real. And then when you get your period, you're like, oh, that's why I was like super emotional. I never tell myself, what's the word, aansteller? I don't know what the English word is. So I acknowledge every feeling. I don't gaslight myself with the feelings. Every feeling is welcome and has a place. I never think it's too much or too little or whatever. So it's the same with like the hunger and wanting to eat the whole time. I let myself eat a little bit more, and then that's like 2 weeks accumulated, and now we're in that third week, which is actually the week that I feel a lot more energized and not really that hungry. So yeah, I try to take advantage of this week as much as possible for myself. And I also feel like it is important for me to keep the week or even the weeks now, the next 2 weeks, free from a lot of social things, even though I have the energy to do that now, but it messes up my workflow. I just really like to be alone, which it almost feels like I have another reason to say like, okay, Tanya, I'm not gonna schedule a lot of social things, or actually any social things. So yesterday was my big social day, and then I already told some people like, oh, I really enjoy that, but then I'm off. I'm like, I'm free. It's like I have no obligations towards other people. Get into my own self again. And actually the main reason is I didn't get to do a lot of work, which I have some new goals that really require focus and planning. So I'm kind of like scared of myself. I'm scared of the things that I put on paper that I want to achieve, because it's gonna mean that I'm gonna need a lot of focus and me time and not a lot of distractions. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that. So, but then I always need to be careful with planning a lot of social things, because my first focus is what I want to achieve, and then the social things come after that. And usually when I don't have things planned for my own goals, the social things just take up space, because they're the ones that are asking for a date, so an appointment. And if I didn't make appointments with myself for like edit time, work time, content creation, I have another business, and workout time, if I don't schedule that as an appointment towards myself, other people are always coming first because they want to schedule time. And that's something, I don't know why it took me 34 years to realize, but I need to schedule my own things first, and then when there's space, I can do social things. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say though, because I don't want the video to be too long. I've always really struggled with, when I quit my job and worked for myself, is that a lot of people thought, and I also gave them the impression, I think, that I was always available because I was always at home, so I could always hang out. And for me to say, no, I have to work, would sound weird, because I'm my own boss, so I can decide. So if I say I have to work, sometimes I would say I have an edit that I need to finish for this company, then that would make more sense in their head than saying I need to work. I don't know. So I've tried to switch that in my head, like your work is important, and just because you work for yourself and at home doesn't mean that you're just available all day. It just, I think it's part of some people pleasing behaviors that is like still a little bit in me and I'm trying to get rid of. But yeah, it's also, like I said in the last video, everything has all these layers, you know, and it's very interesting. I try to not judge myself for it and just see what comes up and then deal with it, because there's a next level I want to go to, and that's not going to happen if I keep being annoyed by the same things, triggered by the same things, frustrated by the same things. Frustration, annoyance, anger, all of that. There's so much information in that to grow. There's so many lessons to grow to get to the next level. Right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment anything you want, just like random things you want to say to me or say to other people that might be reading it, or what you did today, how you're feeling. Just let me know. I would love to read it. I would love to know. Thank you so much, guys, and see you next time in a few days for a new video. Mwah. Bye.